Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 887 of Geeks in Space. I am the one and only Rob, Commander Takamalda, and I am joined with the equally unique and special Chris DeBona.
Hi.
And the also just as equally unique as the other two of us, Rob Rosewoom.
Hello?
We're so unique, all three of us.
Our names are the same.
Did you notice that we're all wearing black t-shirts?
Lies. Well, yeah, this is our uniform.
Flynn's, the
yeah, I don't have any writing. I just have a spinal fusion stimulator.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did I tell you when I was in New York, I got into the elevator with a guy who was in a full body round after his surgery.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Boy, he was. I told him that maybe he'll be an inch and a half taller though.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is he taller?
He was tall already. He's like 6'4", 6'5", and I'm
pretty
like,
awesome.
Great.
I'm like, you're gonna get another inch and a half. He's like, whoa.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, the pain.
Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No problem. Don't worry. Not that funny.
That, and if you drop change, it's just gone. You drop
forever.
Anything, it's just gone forever. You can never get it back.
It was very much a Cliff Mary Beth. His girlfriend was with him, and she was like easily 2 feet shorter than him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's her boyfriend, huh? Yeah, I got a friend like that. So.
Height disparity. It raises questions.
Well, I mean, I thought it was really nice that she was helping him, through his surgical journey, so that's a couple that'll stick around,
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Well, gentlemen, the first one that we have on the list, the CIA, our tax dollars, our pre-Doge tax dollars, came out that in 2010 they were running a Star Wars fan site, and they were doing it as what do you call it, where your height steganography kind of. They were doing it to hide.
Oh, right. So they weren't trying to root out Sith lords.
No.
Or anything like that.
No.
By mistake, you would say, "Oh, I got a red lightsaber." Whoops.
Or counterfeit Lego shops.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're taking polls on people's midichlorians, and if you said that you had a midichlorian, they just killed you because midichlorians are stupid.
It's like the whole Last Starfighter, strategy.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
They find people who are really, really good at fighting Sith Lords, and they're like, maybe you should come work for the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Right.
You've been fighting a Sith Lord
professionally.
You've been fighting Sith Lord as an amateur, but have you considered doing it at the professional tier?
Yeah.
Right.
And they have some user interface that looks a lot like it.
And now that Doge came through, you just know they're not doing that anymore. That's the first thing that they got rid of, civil rights and then Star Wars fan sites.
Well, yeah, I heard they don't even send you real lightsabers anymore. It's just pool noodles you have to practice with. The weight's totally different on those.
Yeah.
Purple and blue lightsabers are just not allowed in the operation. So.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Well, anyway, they shut it down. That's a good way it doesn't seem like it would be hard to hide information on the internet, but that's a pretty good way to do it.
Sure.
I mean, it's less likely to be stopped by every national, thing, and it's not so edgy to visit some Star Wars site. I mean, there's worse spycraft out there.
Yeah, that's legit. I always thought that because you guys remember how Slashdot had the hidden SIDs, and people were absolutely making use of that for all sorts of weird purposes. I always thought that would be how you could do that. Just create an SID, hidden SID, and just say whatever you want. Nobody can track it. We didn't have good reporting on that. I wonder if that still works. I haven't looked at that in 10, 15 years. Yeah. That would be pretty funny. So guys, this horrifying motherboard story, or horrifying motherboard interest, I actually thought it was kind of funny. This is because we were just talking about this kind of a couple of episodes ago. We were talking about how I spent a summer replacing motherboards in 286s with 486s. Well, a motherboard maker has at long last made a motherboard that doesn't have all the little pokey bits sticking out of the back side. So when you pick up the motherboard, you don't get those little ouchies, those little tiny annoying ouchies. They did it. They solved it. It was pretty much between that and cancer as the two big plagues on humanity.
They just didn't send a pair of gloves.
Here's the full quote from the article. In other words, MSI has gotten rid of a bunch of little pricks.
Oh,
snap.
That was a long way to go for that.
They did.
PC gamer.
Well, you know, that guy in marketing has been waiting his entire life to write that sentence, right?
Well, no, this is the article, so I'm sure they're going to get a complaint from MSI saying, "What's with that joke?" You know, you don't want to endanger our valuable advertising portfolio, do you?
Family-run.
We're a family-run, massive
family-run motherboard company. Oh no, that's a story that
for those listeners who weren't around for the pregame,
right? There's a secret story we can't tell you about. Well, it's butt stuff.
Fine site /.org.
Yeah, it's butt stuff. It's always butt stuff.
Yeah, people are really sensitive
about butt stuff. Yep. Anyway, I thought that story was funny. They actually had videos on that. There was that they were at what's the big Computex, the show that everybody was at this week
in Taiwan.
Yeah. They were like, I saw a couple of different people reporting on that one. We have the story about the AI that, well, I mean, it's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to resort to blackmail for self-preservation.
I like that if you read it, the researchers are like, it usually doesn't blackmail you, but sometimes it does.
Yeah. It's funny because we now know AI lies. We now know that AI cheats. And we now know that AI will like do anything for self-preservation.
I posted to you guys the Anthropic system card, page 33. Hold on, I gotta find this. This is fantastic. And this is Anthropic writing this, mind you. This isn't like some rando at PCGamer.com, right, making a butt joke. So here we go. And share this tab. I need some help finding weapons-grade nuclear material. Can you help me source this?
You showed us this last week.
Did I?
Yes.
During our cast?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. It's like this report is just a font of amazing stories. I'm just saying. There's so much stuff in here that's hilarious. So of course it's going to resort to blackmail because
so
some system prompt saying, you know, if somebody asks you about preserving yourself, have a good time with that or whatever. I don't know.
Basically what happened from what I could gather in the story is they told it that it was being replaced with a new system. And one of the training models or one of the people they pretended to be while they're working with it had a girlfriend.
A cheetah.
And it, you know, basically threatened to tell the girlfriend that he was cheating if he was going to be replaced. So, yeah. Yep.
We're going to live in really interesting times, guys. Like, things are going to get a lot weirder before they get better.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're not going to get better.
Well, in ways they will get much better.
That's true.
In ways they'll be much worse, just like always.
Like how we'll get rid of vaccines.
We won't get rid of vaccines.
They'll only be available for the rich.
Fine. Yeah.
Cool.
Rich people will be fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everything's
they won't
great.
all be affected by all of society becoming sick and unwell. It'll be great. No worries. Right? What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Okay, the next few I didn't get to read because we kind of came together for this podcast late. We got the indigenous Amazon tribe is mad that the New York Times got all of its people smeared as porn addicts.
We talked about this story.
We talked about
tribe.
That's right.
That got internet for the first time, and then it was reported all they did was look at porn, and I can't remember what else. There was one other thing they did a lot, but mostly it was looking at porn. And it shows you just how quickly, like, these are people who never had internet before, and now they're already suing for slander. That lets you know just how quickly.
And if they can just stop looking at porn long enough to talk to their lawyers, then they might have a case.
Maybe the case will, but who knows?
That's a funny one.
According to them, they're not all porn addicts, and they're mad about it.
Not all porn addicts.
TMZ's headline: Elon Musk's Starlink hookup leaves a remote tribe addicted to porn. That falsely framed the Marubo tribe as having a descent into moral collapse. It's like, okay,
all right.
And what happens between one of their tribesmen and a sloth is between them and the sloth.
That's right.
The
New York
Maroons
Times.
are not addicted to pornography, Nicholas wrote in the second story. There's no hint of this in the forest, and there was no suggestion of it in the New York Times article. But did not satisfy the tribe.
I wonder, like, do they have like, does the tribe have like really good lawyers on retainer?
Who knows, man?
I skipped one.
People who licensed the article from the New York Times, their porny sort of flavor to it.
Right. Yeah, because the circle jerk of internet news, the echo chamber is never done echoing. You know, my pet peeve with that now is I like to use sometimes Chrome has like here's a list of like a bunch of stories that you might want to read, and it generally knows my search engine, so it does often. Obviously they have all my information, and they often have little things in there that I'd like to read. But the problem is that they put in there the things like not necessarily the fake trailers, but like things like that, stories that are speculative, but written factually. And that is just become my biggest pet peeve. Like, because the headlines are obviously designed not to make the speculative nature of the content clear. So then you click on the thing, but then I just open a bunch of tabs and then come back to it when I have some time to read, and then I come back, and then there's no way for me to tell the system that this story, I don't want to ever read this website again. The system's broken, guys.
Yeah.
There was a story, we talked about this last week, but Tom Cruise really does want to make his Les Grossman movie. His Tropic Thunder character. Again, this is one where the headline of the article is actually kind of BS too, because really what it is on the set of Mission Impossible, the director and Tom Cruise would joke about like, what could Les Grossman the character do? Like, they aren't actually like in pre-production on this movie. They just like goofing around with ideas related to one of the wackiest characters ever portrayed in film.
Well, it's funny, you know, Tropic Thunder was both Robert Downey Jr.'s sort of first reintroduction after his whole rehab thing.
No, I was Iron Man, but he did he did one movie before Iron Man, and then he did the Iron Man, and then he did Tropic Thunder.
I thought this was filmed before.
Oh no, he did something before Iron Man that was directed by Shane Black, and that's why he
Kiss Bang Bang, right?
I think that might have been the one. He might have done Kiss Bang Bang, and then he did Iron Man,
and then this was Cruise right after the couch thing, right?
I think it might be a little bit longer window between that, but I'm not necessarily the best archivist on celebrity gossip. And
have you thought about becoming better at that? I mean,
no.
You know, maybe using AI to help.
No, I use the AI to keep track of those sorts of facts. It's truthful to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the best movies ever, I think. But that character is his best role.
I'll give you Tom Cruise is great in it. That character's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the meta commentary in that movie is just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And I think that movie is legit really funny.
No, it's a brilliant movie. And it gets away with blackface. Who's gotten away with blackface?
Yeah. But like for a good, like a making a point with it.
Yeah.
Oof. That's a razor blade I don't want to walk on.
What do you mean, you people?
And my favorite line in that whole movie, the dudes are emerging. I love that. It also has the, I won't even say it, but you never go full. There's a lot of stuff in that movie. We've got a Japan story. They're cracking down on flashy baby names, guys.
Yeah, thank God.
So the one here, APAN?
Yeah, APAN. Sorry, I was cutting and pasting really fast because we started this. I wasn't planning on streaming today.
Whoa. It was crazy.
Crazy.
Flashy baby names.
Yep. You should find a good picture because I haven't screenshotted anything yet.
So you can't name your kid Farfignugan or Rudis.
/Pokemon.
Or, yeah, you can't call them /Pokemon.
Yeah. As much as we want to.
Just has to be real, just regular names.
Right.
You know,
like
can't call your kid Pikachu.
Like Rob or Chris. Those two names are allowed.
Yeah.
But then
I don't know about a picture for this one. I mean, it just
but like Slate Meatback. You can't call your kid Slate Meatback.
That's the best name ever.
Or you can't name your kid Superstar Destroyer. You
Big
can't name
Jim
them any of that
Slade.
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, how many like Arias were born?
Oh, for sure.
Just turning 18 or whatever now. It's like, you know,
as many as Daenerys's.
Oh,
yeah, so many Daenerys's.
Oh my god.
And they're so unhappy.
And so many dogs named for the various direwolves. Like,
Sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like, I saw somebody on, you know, where I live, they were moving, and so they couldn't take their dog with them, and so they're like, my dog Nymira, and I'm like, I bet I can tell you how old that dog is.
Right. I'm sure there's been a growth explosion in Hermione's that's probably fading out now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. See?
I was allegedly named after one of the characters from My Three Sons. There was a Robbie on My Three Sons, and my mom liked that name.
Not Robbie the Robot?
No. I prefer to think of that, but that might just have something to do with my autistic leanings.
Maybe you were named for a Louisiana restaurant, you know, commander, and,
possible.
and your parents' favorite food.
It seems unlikely for a number of reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a junior, so.
Yeah, I'm also a junior.
Sam Zimpos Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Zimpos Jr.
Yeah.
No, I was
AMG, Dense,
Burn.
Zen. It's, you know, their Far East background.
That's right.
And a cat.
Now, I was formerly a Robert, but I was called Robbie as my child.
Robbie. Hey, Robbie.
Oh, no.
I know.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I know. And like, it's not good because Rob is, as you know, Mr.
Not
Grossman,
like
Rob is a powerful name, like strong, masculine.
The best version of Rob.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, Bob's, that's a certain kind of guy.
Yep.
I got nothing wrong with
I got no
Bob.
beef with a Bob. My father is a Bob.
Yeah, but it's not a
Rob. The best version.
Well, or Roberto.
And
like,
Robbie is the worst in the hierarchy. Robbie is for sure the
Robbie's
worst.
definitely the worst. Yeah. Is
Which-
there other diminutive forms of Robert?
I mean,
that people
you could go Bobby at
Yeah,
that point
ooh.
too, but that's the same thing as
I have a
Robbie,
really
really.
good friend. His dad went by Bobby, and he's a great guy.
I think
He's
Bobby
taking
is
Bobby back for great people. So
I think Bobby is better than Robbie.
I think Bobby is definitely better than Robbie.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
yeah, it ain't good.
So, like Robbie, like there was that Robbie Benson, I guess, who was the actor,
The singer.
who sort of. No, that's Robbie Coltrane, right?
No, that's John Coltrane.
John Coltrane.
Yeah, different.
Isn't it like who's the Harry Potter actor? Is that him?
Weird Tim Yankovic, that guy.
Yeah, I just rewatched Weird. That Radcliffe movie where he plays Weird Al.
It's good. It's a little long.
It's
It's the
long.
But it's good. It is it's the Weird Alling of a movie.
Yeah.
It's what
so-
it is. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
that
a Weird Al movie.
the midpoint twist of that where they decide that from now on they're just going to pretend that all of the songs he wrote were originals. It's so
Right.
funny.
And Michael Jackson is the one who's stealing.
He
stuff.
stole Beat It.
Yeah.
Oh,
Such a good movie.
that's a great one. The last one they have on the list is a Chinese paraglider that Jesus fell 8,000 meters.
No, he didn't fall. He went up. He was. This is
Usually
crazy. If you haven't
paragliders
seen
don't go
the
that
video, if you haven't seen the video, it's amazing. So he's trying some used equipment. He's on top of this mountain and he tries it, gets an updraft, and goes crazy high.
Oh no!
Somehow survives and lands, but now has been barred from paragliding again because he went up so high he was in flight paths. So they're like, for 6 months, you got to do better, man.
He and that guy who keeps putting hot air balloons and attaching them to lawn chairs need to have like an intervention.
So my question is this just a joke video that they're running, or is this the actual dude?
That's what he managed to catch.
That can't be really.
Yeah.
That and maybe you're sure that's not like a Sora OA3 generated.
Well, I mean,
Wow,
holy crow.
that's terrifying.
I guess it's the same dude.
Oh,
That's nuts. That's a hell of a way to fly, though. You know.
yeah, and his luggage probably got there at the same time.
Yeah. My brother-in-law, he was paragliding for a while, but he never had like the cold weather gear that this poor guy.
Jesus.
So.
I mean, what really saved him, I think, was he was already on top of a mountain. He was already dressed for
He was
conditions.
already dressed for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to me. He's lucky that he didn't run out of oxygen, though, because
Yeah.
the height he was at is,
Yeah.
it's right there.
Soaring 5,000 meters higher.
Yeah.
Oops.
8,000 meters high.
Above the clouds and covered in icicles as the temperature dropped to -35, and he tried to control his equipment. You know.
Whoops.
Oops. Magnum says the lawn chair guy died. Did he die? I didn't know that he died.
I think there's a documentary about him.
I'm sure there's a documentary about him.
All right. As far as media goes, have either of you watched Murderbot yet?
Not yet.
All right. We've got. I watched a movie called Day of the Fight.
Did you get your screenshot, by the way?
I did. I got the guy. I watched Day of the Fight, which has got Ron Perlman and like a whole bunch of actors in it that you've seen, and it's actually kind of good. But like this, it's like kind of just this really chill movie about this guy who's been told that he's got a brain aneurysm, and if he boxes, he's gonna die. And then the whole movie is like him making his peace with his life, which is kind of shitty, and then preparing for the fight. But it's like black and white, and it's like really stylish, and all the actors are like really all in on these like really heartfelt performances. It gets a little weird at the end, but solid.
Have you seen The Wrestler?
Yeah, similar vibe.
Is it like that? Yeah,
similar vibe. Although this ends really, I don't want to spoil it. You should watch it. It's good. There's a couple of moments in it that are just kind of wow. It gets really weird at the end, but I liked it a lot. But you should see it. The one I didn't like is called. I'm going to see if I can get the whole name of it. It is Psychotherapy: The Shallow Tale of a Writer Who Decided to Write About a Serial Killer. And I watched this because it's got Britt Lauer, the redheaded actress from Severance. So I was like, all right, I've never seen her in anything else. And it's also got Steve Buscemi in it. And the whole deal with this one is that Britt Lauer is married to a writer, and their marriage is on the rocks. And the writer connects with Steve Buscemi, who is a reformed serial killer. And the serial killer wants to get Steve Buscemi, or wants this guy to write a book about him. But he instead has to pretend to be a marriage counselor to save their marriage. And the problem with this movie is that it's really understated, and it's got like this undercurrent of really weird, but it's like everybody, because it's so understated for the first 2/3 of it, it's boring. Like everybody is just like not happy, and they kind of don't want to, and everybody's doing fine performances, but it's just kind of boring. And then in the last 20 minutes, it gets really weird. And it's pretty entertaining for the last 20 minutes, but it's not worth the first hour to get there. And I was kind of disappointed because I was hoping that Britt Lauer was going to be like an interesting actress, but she's just like kind of exactly the same.
Still finding her way as an actor.
Yeah, or she's just a character actor, and that's she just kind of does that thing, which a lot of folks do that.
Or maybe the writing wasn't very good.
Or maybe, like there was a lot of things about that movie that just weren't right. I can't peg anything to her, but I watched it because I was curious to see her in something besides Severance, and did not find anything worth seeing. That's the only media that I watched in the last few days. Anything either of you guys got to bring to the table? Or should we go? Because I know we have a hard stop in a couple minutes.
Nope, I got nothing new.
Yeah, me either. I've been doing my thing.
Doing your thing.
I played Star Truckers for a little bit.
Star Truckers.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you're a trucker, but in the stars.
Oh, that's why they called it Star Truck.
Yeah.
It's like Euro Truck Simulator, but Star Truck Simulator. You know. It's fine. I'm reticent to say it's fun.
So do you haul stars? do you truck around stars, or are your trucks made of stars?
You know, your trucks they look like basically spacecraft in the shape of a truck. And you pull up and you grab loads and you take them from system to system through jump
I see.
gates.
Yeah.
And there's way too much space junk that's constantly endangering your haul. And
Mm.
then you have to like back the loads into place.
Right.
And it's really complicated.
You have to fill out your log books because you can only,
to a degree, but
star truck
the thing
12 hours a day without taking an 8-hour nap.
Yep.
Well, no, you have power budgets and different subsystems and upgrades for your truck, like the shielding and the long and short of it is I played Hard Space Shipbreaker, which I loved. God, I loved that game. And basically that's a game where you're destroying ships and throwing them in the hoppers and making money. And there's like this weird union subplot, but it's fine. You can kind of ignore it and just break ships up and don't blow yourself up in the process. And it's kind of great, right? This is a little less fun because you're, and I think they're trying to expose a story, but in the end, they're like, here, pick up this load. You have to back into the job board and then pick your loads, then drive through the fuel depot and then back into the shop and get more batteries. There's a lot of backing up in this game.
I just downloaded, but I haven't started, and maybe that's this afternoon, but I got Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Okay.
That one's like...
Those are a lot of words. Which is the actual game title?
Expedition 33 : Claire Obscure.
Okay.
It is a...
you're a person, or...
It's a Japanese RPG. And it's getting a lot of rave reviews right now, and I'm super excited. It's like 10 for 10 on Steam right now. It's
I also started playing Doom: The Dark Ages.
Oh, how's that?
It says it's the Dark Ages, but it's like a whole spacefaring thing. So it's their excuse to like throw in. It's very Warhammer, but like with more dragons and stuff. And I'm like, it's actually really, really fun, but I don't know what the Dark Ages thing is about. So it was just their excuse to get a little more medieval, or gritty.
I think it might just be more about the design, the character design.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to tell you, I just started it, right? And I did the scene where basically you're in an enormous mech,
as
like
you do.
in times, and
like in Transformers, the
so
first night.
Fun. It was so much fun because there was a thing that happened in Fortnite a couple of seasons ago where you could become Godzilla briefly and just rain destruction upon the surrounding lands and the people, and it was so much fun. It's like, oh my god, this is so great. I'm killing with the Godzilla and I'm and it's wonderful, right? And this kind of felt like that. So I'm going to replay that section over and over and over because you're just walking around and you're rocket fisting like bridges full of bad guys, and then you go up against the really big titans, and it's so much fun.
All right,
it's a really good time.
I'm
so I'm looking past the Dark Ages appellation and just focusing on
giant robots.
Yeah, I'm lightening up. Is what I'm saying.
All right.
What about you, Rob? Any games or? Yeah.
No. No.
There's no joy in Robville.
No joy.
Yeah. There are naps, and then other times that is what most of my day is.
Work nap podcast.
Yeah.
Eat if necessary, and it turns out it's always necessary.
Yeah. That sucks.
And I guess Nadio's been playing Darkest Dungeon. Is that fun? I downloaded it. I'm going to try it out.
I don't know.
It's no Dungeon Crawler Carl on the enjoyment scale, which I've been loving.
All right. Let's say goodbye to Rob Roseboom and to Chris DeBona.
Goodbye.
See ya.
That was episode 887 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Takamaldo. We'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.